Okay, in this tutorial we are going to look at limiting our player in terms of shooting. So if I just play this game at the moment, what we've done is we have our player, and our player can move up and down and walk within the boundaries here, and it can fire, but it can fire indefinitely. So we want to stop that, and what we want to be able to do is essentially only have, say, 10 bullets, maybe a pause, or maybe after 10 bullets you have to press R, you can reload, and then essentially then you get another 10 bullets to fire with. So there's a number of different ways you can do this, and there's obviously a number of different ways that you can do pretty much anything with GameMaker. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up my O player, which is here. Now this does look a little bit confusing because I've got lots of different folders in this, because this is a little test environment that I made just to show how to do various different things. So all I'm going to do is open up my player folder, which is in my objects, and I'm going to open up O player. Now you'll notice I've got lots of different things in here at the moment. What I'm going to do is add an event, which is a create, and I'm going to make a new variable, and I'm going to just call this bullets, and I'm going to give it an initial value of 10. So in other words, when the player is created, it creates a variable called bullets, and that bullet has a 10 assigned to it. Now ideally it would be nice to push that and put that onto our display. Now in one of the other tutorials, depending on which order you watch this in, or maybe you haven't seen my other tutorials, what we've done is we've made a countdown timer. So if I just play the game again, you notice there's a countdown timer in the top left hand corner. Now if you wanted to, you could have just bullets then directly underneath here, right? Just to know how much ammo we've got left. We'll probably do that later. Let's do that later. Okay, so at the moment we've set bullet and we've got a value of 10, and in order to sort of fire the bullet we press the space bar here. So if I just double click on the space, and all I'm going to do is just put this in here at the top, and I'm going to say bullets and then -1 relative. Now if I play this for a moment, what you'll notice is I can still fire, and you can see quite clearly that I've fired well over 10 bullets here. So in order to actually get this to actually stop firing, we need to run a condition. So we need to run an if statement. Just before we do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this diagnostic tool. So if I just scroll down, this one here, or debug tool, and I'm going to just drag that in here, and I'm going to put the variable bullets in. So basically this is saying this will show me what the output of bullets is down in this output here. So let me just show you this again. I use this quite often because it's quite useful to see what's happening. So you can see now I've got 9 left, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, nothing, and then we just go into minus. So what we need to do is basically say, right, okay, we're out, let's stop firing. So this is really easy to do. Let's add in an if statement, and what we're going to do is this create instance will need to be dragged to this side, and all I'm going to say is if the variable bullets is greater than or equal to 0, then we can fire a bullet. Let's just try that. Okay, so if I press this, now you can see it's stopped, which is fine, but you can see my bullets are just obviously keeping on going down and down and down and down and down. So what we're going to do for that is I'm just going to move this variable inside here, just so that it stops it going into massive negative numbers. So let's try it again. So it won't now go more than that -1, and the reason being is because bullets is currently set to -1. It's not actually going in here, and it's not incrementing anymore. Alright. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is basically get it to reload. So essentially when I press, say, the R button for reload, we then assign more bullets to the player. So let's add an event. Let's go down to a key pressed, and let's then look for letters, and then we'll go for the letter R. So when the key pressed R, we're going to do something. I'm going to say set bullets to 10. Now I'm not going to do it relative because that would just add 10 on each time. So if we just try this, that's good. So I'm out. If I press the R key, I can now try it again. Now there is one downside with this, is I could fire like 4 bullets, press R to reload, and fire another one, press R to reload. So what we could do to make things a little bit more difficult is we could say this will only work if, let's say for example, the bullets are less than 2 as an example. So if we say the bullets, if the bullet is less than or equal to, we'll say 1, go on, then we can do that. Otherwise we're not going to be able to reload. Now how are we actually going to see this happen? Well, essentially what we're going to have to do is draw it onto our room. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to say add event and draw, and then draw GUI. Now I could add it in here, although I'm not going to add it in here. I'll tell you why now. I'm going to go into my level 1 object, and I'm going to go into my game manager, and I've already got a draw GUI here. So in here I'm going to add another one of these called bullet, and what I'm going to do is say the bullets variable, but that's not going to work. Now the reason it's not going to work is because the bullet lives within this O player. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to reference it. So in order to do that, I'm going to say O player dot, and then as soon as I start typing bullets, you can see it comes up here. So what this is doing is just saying like draw the bullet variable which is in O player. Now in order to get this to sort of play nicely, I'm going to make sure if I say 1010 it's going to overwrite. So what I'm going to need to do is move that down a little bit. Now I'm going to try 20 on the Y. I don't know if this is actually going to work, we'll see. I may need to change this a little bit. Yeah, it needs to go down a little bit further, or I can move that up a little bit, and let's say that one 25. Let's try this now. Okay, so it needs to go down a little bit more, maybe to 30. No, I'm gonna a little bit more. We'll go to 40, and then we leave it at that. Okay, so at the moment we have the ability to shoot stuff, and if I look there, look 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then if I press the R button, we reload. It goes back to 10. And if I'm on 7 and I try and press R, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything at all. Now we've gone there to -1. Ideally it's not great, is it? So in order to change that, then we basically we're going to change something really quickly in here. If I go into my space here, what I'm going to say is greater than equal to 1. There we are, my bullets now is out completely. I can still wander around and do anything, but I can't shoot anything until I press R. And let's say for example I'm on 6, I'm trying to reload, nothing's happening. I need to fire a few more. Now I'm on 2, I can press R, nothing's happening. Press it again, now press R, and we're away to go. So essentially that is how you could get a object to fire when you've got a limited amount of ammo, and how you would assign a key to reload.